This year's playoffs have seen several injuries to the league's top stars. Giannis and Trae Young both had to miss Game 5 last night due to injuries. Take a look. 10 All-Stars have missed at least one game this postseason, which is the most in NBA history in over 60 years. The amount of injuries prompted the New York Times to ask if this year's title will have an asterisk. Oh, there's that word, Acho. So, will this year's NBA championship have an asterisk?
Unfortunately, yes, Sel, and it's because of this reason. Basketball, football, baseball, soccer, most of these sports that are not primarily gladiator sports, you're supposed to give the award, the trophy, to the best team.
Okay.
Not the team that can endure the pain the longest. If you and I went to Rome and were to go to the Colosseum,
we're going to Rome?
I've been to twice. Yeah, we got to go to Rome. If you and I were in Rome and in the Colosseum, big dog, and we were sitting in the Colosseum steps on those brick and mortar logs and whatnot, if you will.
Damn.
Yeah, then it would be a test of attrition. That's sports, gladiator sports, that's a war of attrition. But basketball, Sel, it's not supposed to be a war of attrition, and that's all the NBA playoffs have been this year. Sel, you got 14 of the series that have been played so far. 14. Out of those 14 series, 8 have included games missed by All-Stars. Whether the Lakers miss Anthony Davis and thus you didn't get to see them at their best versus the Suns, or in that same series, Chris Paul gets hurt and thus you didn't get to see him at his best versus the Lakers, or on the East side when you see the Nets and the Bucks and Kyrie gets hurt and James Harden battles an injury the whole time, so you don't get to see the Nets at their best. Or now, even in the Eastern Conference Finals, when Giannis is hurt and Trae Young is hurt, so you don't see nobody at their best, and Brooke Lopez is the star. Yes, this series, this season will have an asterisk. And the primary reason this season will have an asterisk is because injuries are a part of the game, but injuries are not supposed to overtake the game.
Oh, man.
Injuries are a part of the game, Seth. They shouldn't take over. It's like instant replay. Instant replay is a part of the game.
Yeah.
But you remember, what was it, Phoenix Suns Game 1 or Game 2 versus the Clippers, when the last 30 seconds took 33 minutes? Instant replay a part of the game. But instant replay ain't supposed to trump the game, and injuries have trumped the game.
And you had something better to do other than to watch them.
I did. I was in Soho House.
What were you doing?
I was trying to eat dinner.
You were at Soho House?
Yeah, first time going. It was nice.
First of all, you weren't focused on the game doing your job, because you were at Soho House, and we know what Soho House is about. It's Soho House. It's a beautiful place. You look too good to sound so bad right now. I mean, come on. You know damn well it's not an asterisk for this season, as they're not an asterisk for any season. Now, in jest, I will always go there and clown the Fakers for their bubble ring last year, but that's just joking. That's just a Clipper fan in me. In all seriousness, it's too difficult to win a championship, no matter how you get up that mountain, for me to strip you or tear you down, or worse, try to overshadow it by calling it an asterisk. Asterisk, too. Asterisk. I'll hear you over there. Scruggle bus. Look, the reason why I don't like this is because, one, every single year, every single team is compromised to some degree. The entire NBA is compromised to some degree. So what we're talking here is really severity. When we're talking severity, we're talking degrees. When you're talking severity and degrees, you're not talking objectively. So to put an objective asterisk next to a season, I need some objective measures. You don't have any. I don't have any. No one will have any. You will say, this year's the most. That's not objective. That's relative to what the other experiences have been. And let me give you some of those experiences to prove that this is not just an objective standard. 2019, NBA champion Raptors benefited from what? KD went down, bruh. Achilles. Klay Thompson went down. Shall I continue? 2018, Chris Paul popped that hammy. We know what was going on. They were up in that series before that. What about the Warriors and the Cavs? Kevin Love, where you go? Kyrie Irving, where you go? Only played one game in that finals. We could go to the #1 seeded Bulls team, Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah, where he at? All those guys. I keep going. I see Magic Johnson here, hurting his hamstring Game 3 in the series. I see Byron Scott. I see Isaiah Thomas, et cetera, et cetera. Now you want to come up here because you're a prisoner of the moment. You want to come up here right now and say, you know what? I think this is the most that it's been, so therefore... First of all, no, it is the most. But since it's the most, doesn't mean that it's an objective way to strip those who will survive the war of attrition. Why? Because every other team was rewarded with a championship without an asterisk, surviving the war of attrition. Make this one different than the rest, other than saying the most is relative.
Asterisks. We're talking about figuratively. I don't want to see a literal asterisk in the championship books next to the name.
So don't take your
words. But we're talking about figurative asterisks. Yes, this is objective because objective says representing facts. Objective is disregarding opinion. It's not my opinion that more stars than ever have been injured. It's a fact that you and I are verbally representing. So it is, in theory, based upon the definition, objective. But yes, we've seen injuries affect teams individually in years past. Kevin Durant gets hurt. Kawhi Leonard for the Spurs gets hurt when they were probably going to beat the Warriors. Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love get hurt when the Cavs were probably going to beat the Warriors. You can go from team to team to team to team.
Year to year to year.
Year to year to year to year. But now we see it at large. You got money in the stock market, I would assume. I got money in the stock market.
What'd it do?
The government does not issue national assistance when an individual loses money. They issue assistance when the whole market crashes. If I lose some bread, they're not going to be like, oh, well, Acho got hurt financially. Here, take some money. Well, Marcel's got hurt financially. Here, take some money. Nah, but when everybody get hurt, that's when the government starts to look around and say, uh-oh, everybody getting hurt. Here, take some assistance.
Okay.
With that being said, I'm not issuing an asterisk when Kevin Durant and the Warriors get hurt. I'm not going to introduce an asterisk because that's one individual. I'm not going to introduce an asterisk when Kawhi Leonard for the Spurs gets hurt, and they really had a chance, at least in game one, it looked like, to overtake the Warriors. I'm not going to issue an asterisk when Chris Paul gets hurt when the Rockets are winning 3-2 over the Warriors. But when you see everybody, Trae Young, Giannis, Kyrie, Harden, AD, Chris Paul, LeBron James, Kawhi, when you start to see everybody get hurt, it's time to issue an asterisk like the government would issue assistance.
No, that one cute example. Cute. I will say it was cute. It almost landed squarely. But no, in all seriousness, I really think that because it's affected so many, just individually, that you're trying to now aggregate that like it's a total issue. It's not. It's affecting every single team, so therefore you can, one, make a cause that is uniform. Like everyone is affected by it, which would mean, why are we going to put an asterisk by something that is affecting all? Or we go with my side, which is basically, my side is, every time you sign up, it's a war of attrition. No matter how it affects you and no matter what the severity is. We could go to our sport. And you already know. All right, I see your face. You want to light up and go there?
No, I got something.
Okay, I know you got something there. We could go to any sport, and we're going to go to any year, and we're always going to have something, which is my point. So why are you going to single out this year's severity and then say asterisk when it happens all the time?
I like that cross punch you just threw at your boy. But again, you know me, I protect the ribs. I protect the ribs.
Okay.
Let's go to our sport. We're going to go there here in a second talking Sha'Carri Richardson. But first, I want to talk about American greats prior to her. Michael Johnson, Maurice Green. If y'all do not know who they are,
Green,
you should. Maurice Green was the fastest man to run the 100 at the Sydney Olympics in 2000. Michael Johnson was the fastest man to run the 400, one lap, at the Sydney Olympics in 2000. Now, why didn't they run the 200, Marcellus Wiley? You will remember. Y'all will not remember. Because they raced each other at Olympic trials in the 200. Maurice Green, the fastest man in the 100. Michael Johnson, the fastest man in the 400. And they both got hurt. They both got hurt running. So who won at Olympic trials? A U.S. dude named John Capel. He won, which means he went to the Olympics to represent the United States of America because he was the best. But at the Olympics, he got 8th place. And somebody else won because Capel wasn't actually the best. Maurice Green and Michael Johnson, who got hurt, they were the best. So am I going to put an asterisk by the winner of the 200 meters at the Sydney Olympics? Yes. Because he didn't beat the best.
Wow.
And that's look, America.
Wow.
Look, I do my homework. I have Marcellus Wiley's words. I have them. Can we get the sound? Can we get the sound? Sound, please. Sound, please.
Injuries, bro. I hate this. I always talk about when I ran track, and I hate it when I had to go against somebody who was injured. I hate it when I saw somebody with K-tape on. I'm like, man, I'm not going to get your best.
I'm not going